Broadcasting alive from the Green Room Studios in Nashville, Tennessee, it's the At Home Show with Josh Cary and David Bates, celebrating 25 years of home and garden wisdom. Without further ado, your hosts, Josh Cary and David Bates.
Hey, and welcome in, everybody. It's Saturday morning. It's time for the At Home Show. I am Josh Cary. You are not David Bates. You're
no,
Adam
still
Chapman.
not. I'm still not David Bates.
He's run into. He had to go back to Groom Lake unexpectedly. I mean, there was some sort of leak in one of the flux capacitors.
I think so.
Yeah. You know how he is.
He can't leave that.
He can't leave it alone.
No.
He can't leave it alone.
It's all he would talk about on the show.
And you can't shut him up once it gets started.
No.
So anyhow, we're here for you. It is a Saturday morning tradition. It's been coming to you for decades and parts of centuries,
and decades,
millions and millions and millions of views on every form of social media. Well, maybe not. But we always start the show here from the Green Room with the weather, and it's going to be glorious.
It is a gorgeous Saturday.
Yes, it is.
And it will be a gorgeous Sunday tomorrow.
You're going to be open tomorrow, too, right?
We are.
Yeah.
Yes, our first Sunday for the quote-unquote fall, even though it's not fall for another couple of weeks, technically.
Yeah.
And today, I believe the high is, at least in Middle Tennessee, is going to be in the lower 80s. Picture perfect. Sunny.
Yes.
And actually, the next 3 days is that way. A little bit of rain Tuesday, Wednesday, then even cooler. Mm-hmm. Highs only in the 70s.
There's some air in the fall.
High 70s day?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Who's
Thursday,
that voice,
Friday.
Adam? That's Tyler.
That is Tyler.
He's the one spitting the tunes. And,
he is.
And,
he's the one that makes things happen.
Sliding the sliders. Working the cameras, yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. That's the live audience we have right outside the Green Room.
It's a mosh pit. It's forming. It'll be better later.
Yeah, once we play some Slayer.
Yep. we got Slayer fans in studio as well.
Yes, of course.
But it's going to be a great day. I think the humidity.
No
is
rain anywhere around in the southeastern United States right now. So.
That's because it's all in the Atlantic Ocean right now.
Yeah,
Holy
that hurricane
smokes.
is pulling up every bit of moisture it can.
Yep.
And
and across the way, if we can switch cameras, you'll notice that we have a very special guest in the studio this morning. It's not Kevin.
No, not me.
Who's beside you, Kevin?
Beside me is...
That's Austin, by the way. Not
Hi,
Kevin.
I'm Austin.
Yes.
Yep, I'm still here. Caroline's not here, but we have a fill-in. The Bridge.
Bridget Hillieu.
Bridget, our Nebraska girl.
Oh, no.
See what I did there? Nebraska.
Uh-huh.
She's from Nebraska, the land of grasses, and she loves grasses.
I do love grass.
well,
I bet she likes the Colorado Buffaloes today, too.
probably
Oh.
because Nebraska's playing them today.
Yes,
is that
they
not?
are.
That's correct. That is correct.
Game day.
And I think Nebraska's going to win though.
Probably.
I think Dion's bitten off more he can chew. I think.
I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see.
She
Anyway.
didn't wear red, though, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll forgive her. I didn't wear orange, so you know.
That's true. Well, let's let the Bridge give us tell the classroom what you're about and who you are.
What I'm about?
Yes. What do you do here? How long have you been here? Give us all the details.
Fall of 2021, I got here. I moved here from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah.
And showed up at your door, and you guys took me in.
We did.
And we're glad we did.
Never looked back.
We're glad we
right.
did.
And what do you do? What kind of department? What do you do here?
Yep. So I'm out in perennials, sun and shade perennials, ornamental grasses, as
Her
touched
specialty.
on.
Specialty.
Yeah, vines, that kind of thing.
Yep. And we decorated the green room mostly on y'all's side today with grasses.
Yes.
Indeed.
Bridget a little bit later is going to fill us in on what those are. But man, we're
Very
happy to
excited.
see you. Yes.
Happy
we're
to
glad
be
you're
here.
here.
Thanks
Being
for
from
the invite.
Nebraska, she probably knows something about corn as well.
This girl loves corn probably as much as I do.
Okay.
I did sell sweet corn
Yes.
from a produce stand for multiple summers.
Did you have to pick it?
No, but I did go to the farm and load up my truck every morning. It was an early day.
That's work. Man, I remember in college walking down them sweet corn rows, just them that corn almost cutting you when you walk by, just sweating, hot.
Yep.
Now,
Pulling them ears.
Austin.
It burns.
The corn that grows here is nothing. Nothing
No.
like what's in Nebraska.
No, it's vast.
And
Yeah.
Iowa.
Miles and miles.
Oh,
of it.
just everywhere.
Tall.
Oh, I'd be in heaven. I'd just go in there and lay in it.
But then we never find you again.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't. Oh, corn.
Corn.
I had a horrible corn crop this year.
Yep.
I
You
think
know why?
I think because of how rainy it was. Has to be.
You know, no, it was more on me. It was more an experiment I tried that did not work. You know me, usually with my corn, I'm like meticulous. I'll put out these lines, perfect, straight lines. I'll drop seeds perfectly apart. I do this every year. Well, this past year, I didn't do that. I did not have time. I was about to go on vacation, and I literally planted my corn the night before I went on vacation. You know what I did? I did the old scatter. I took the bag of seed and I just scattered it across the earth. And you know what? It germinated great. I had like almost literally probably 95% germination rate. Everything came up, but it all came up way too tight. And I planted it really late. And I didn't really fertilize it very well. So I get this stupid 3-foot corn.
Well, I would,
It's
I would, berate you for that, but you're berating yourself.
I
enough,
am.
so.
I'm mad at myself because I got no ears of corn this year. My kids didn't get to eat any corn.
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh,
so
no.
now I got. You know what I do
Well,
have? You
what
know
do
what
you
I do have?
What?
Some good fall decor
Yes, you do.
with my brown corn right now.
The corn.
That
Round to
You have the corn.
Tyler's the punniest man I know.
You know where you can find some corn, Austin?
Where?
Where Alan Lincoln let me know.
The
The store,
This
Yes.
the produce
Yes,
section.
I know, but it's not as fulfilling, Adam.
I get it,
To
but
pick the corn and to
It's like
eat the
80
corn.
cents a year, too. Some places.
that's
I've seen it's
true.
really expensive.
it is
this
high.
year.
It is
Austin's
expensive.
corn is between him and the fields. You
It
know what I
is,
mean?
yeah.
Like it's like a relationship.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's a hard relationship.
every year it's like a balance between you and them ears.
I like to pull them ears, and this year I ain't pulled none.
Well, speaking of pulling ears, let's pull some questions
Okay.
out, shall we?
Come on, Tyler.
If I plant canna and elephant ears right now, will they not make it through the winter?
Cannas
Good question.
probably would be okay depending on the variety, but elephant ears, I don't know. They probably just rot, wouldn't they?
They
You would think?
might. They might. We do recommend typically planting those in the spring just to have that full season of root development because they are a little cold touchy here. Now, there's
Yes.
some, y'all know as well as I do. Yeah, plenty of y'all have had elephant ears for like years, and they just keep coming back, keep getting bigger or whatever, but it's a little risky. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm just saying it's a little risky. What do you think, Bridge? What do you think on this?
I think I would wait until spring.
Okay, see, the voice of reason.
If you've got the option to wait, I say wait.
Agreed. We don't even barely get many in bulb form this time of year. I guess we still probably have some cannas down there. Do we?
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
And some elephant ear, probably.
Well, the cannas you have to be careful with, don't you? Because they can get really big and
Oh,
really
God.
spready and
Yeah.
really thick and tight.
Oh, you ain't going to see me plant a canna.
No, they're a half a step away from Johnson grass. Really, they are.
Yeah. God, yeah, I remember digging some up for some old lady one time that asked me to, and I was just like, what am I doing? I mean, it was a stand. It was a round circle, like 15 foot in all direction of canna.
Instant
they didn't-
regret.
Yeah, regret. And I was like, what am I going to do with these? And they didn't bloom all that great anymore. You got to separate your cannas every once in a while. Once they get too tight on themselves, it's kind of like what, kind of similar to like iris.
iris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you let them get too tight on each other, they just won't bloom. But
Yeah, you'll get a lot of foliage, but no bloom. really.
One
Yep.
of the coolest things that I've seen is right next to my girlfriend's mom's house. There's this hill that's been, I guess canna might have been just kind of abandoned there because it's a rental now. But the way that the hill works with the canna, they all kind of cascade up.
Whoa.
So you get a really great show of blooms, and it so that cluster, that circle exists. But I just really love that it's like mounded up.
yeah.
So it's colonized the hill, essentially.
much.
It has at least the sunniest part of it.
What color are the leaves on that one?
Oh, just the deep green.
Deep green
yeah.
ones?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it seems like those green leaf, just red bloom.
Yeah, they do the
cannas,
best.
They seem to be the best. Yeah, I guess the orange ones do pretty well too.
They
Typically,
do okay. The Tropicanas,
We planted a Tropicana this year, and it has not done just like the regular green. It's unfortunate, but it could be getting less sun also.
Yeah. And that's your fault.
It is my fault. I have to hack down my bananas for it to get more sun, and I love my bananas more.
I love your bananas too. You have great bananas.
We have a surplus of bananas. By the way,
are we still talking about plants?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Banana trees, not banana fruits. And don't think that these will produce edible fruit, because they won't.
No, our growing season's not near long enough. They can, but you'd have to bring it inside to a greenhouse or something.
You know, Adam, one of our friends, landscaper, remember Calvin?
Oh, yeah.
You know Calvin. He's got a big old greenhouse.
He's got a greenhouse.
He does, and he grows bananas in those. And I'm driven by them. They're huge. And he gets fruit off those because he's got this heated greenhouse over the wintertime. He's an excellent plantsman. He grows great plants. Yeah, he travels down to Florida. Like, he goes to, like, Texas to, like, plant shows and brings back plants. He's just a cool guy. Yeah. Cool guy. But, he's got some bananas. And I know, Bridget, our bananas here have been kind of a pain in your side.
They've moved around a lot.
Yes, they move around.
Getting evicted.
Bananas need a home.
Yes, guys. Y'all come buy bananas.
Yep.
These are cold, hardy bananas, y'all. Tried and true, like, literally hardy to, like, negative 20 degrees. Like, they're fine. But you got to come buy them. We need y'all to take them.
They're great next to a pool.
Yeah, pot them up.
That's where I put
they
mine.
They look ridiculous in a pot.
Started them 2 years ago.
Good.
This year they're going to be about 5 feet tall.
Yeah, eventually, you know, every year they kind of get bigger and bigger.
Mine have been established for 8, 9 years now. They're 12, 13 to even 15 feet tall.
And some of the individual leaves, fronds, if you will, are like 5, 6 feet long. Just incredible.
Yeah, you can have a leaf fight if you want to. You can just rip them off. You can fan your partner, your spouse. They would love it.
Yeah. Don't give her any ideas. Come on.
Yeah, please don't give Rachel any ideas, please.
It goes both ways.
Mar, good day.
Good day.
Good day to you.
MAR space GDBEY says that sounds like Cannas would be a good privacy fence.
For a
summer,
kind of lowish
for the summer. They'll die back in the winter.
Yeah, and they're a little low. I mean, they're not crazy tall.
They get 5, 6 feet.
They can end up 5, 6 feet. So that's pretty good.
That's a good way to say
end up, because they start from the ground, y'all. You know, they don't come back from any type of woody plant material above. So everything dies back from the top and more or less just turns to mush. And you get rid of that, similar to bananas. Yep. And then everything comes back from the roots. So to see that 5, 6 foot mark, you're talking by the end of the season. So, privacy screen, but it's a little bit later. You're not going to see that throughout the whole season. So in the spring, you're going to be still looking at your neighbors a little bit.
I mean...
You could interplant it with a couple other tall things.
Well, bananas are the screen.
They are the screen.
Oh, my God.
It's like a tropical wall. It's like a jungle wall.
It's a jungle wall.
Cool to watch in a storm, too.
Yes.
The leaves are just shredding.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like you're in Florida during a little hurricane. Speaking of fruit, let's keep it in that realm right now. Do you carry any fruit trees, apple, peach, etc.?
They got them back there that have got fruit on them.
Yes, we do. Huh? That's a big yes.
You know, though, today, specifically, we're a little low on our fruit. That truck is supposed to show up next week, so we've been waiting on it.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet, but that truck shows, and y'all, we're loaded with fruit.
Loaded. Yeah, and really, you want to wait. It's a catch-22. You want to wait as late in the fall as you can to plant trees, really, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Like late October, November, December, great time to plant trees. However, the selection will not be near as good at that point. So, coming in next week or the next when we've just gotten that tree in, that you're going to find, almost whatever you want, really.
Yeah. And it's a great point Adam made. He's talking when you buy plants without leaves on them, specifically fruit trees, you get to see their branching habit and their branching structure, which is a good starting point for growing fruit trees. We have to prune fruit trees every year to get maximum production. Look at any orchard out there. They're all pruning over the wintertime extensively. These trees aren't picture perfect, single stem to a canopy, round, perfect looking tree. No, they're gnarly looking trees. We're
gnarly,
keeping, we're keeping those stems we want to keep. So starting off at a good, say you're buying a peach tree, starting off with a good like 3 main limb system is a good way to start whenever you're buying a fruit tree. So seeing that without leaves is a little bit easier, to get started.
Now, if you're interested in getting something fruiting this weekend, we have plenty of blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, that kind of thing.
Figs
So-
back there.
figs,
Yeah,
figs,
big
so-
figs back there. Too.
And,
Passion vine?
yes,
Passion.
What was
yes.
that?
Look at Bridge
Bridget?
throwing in the passion
Yes.
vine.
We all saw your video, Tyler. It was beautiful. It was great.
I didn't
Yeah.
see your video. What
Okay,
happened?
so
What'd you do?
on the two, I discovered a wonderful site off the Two Rivers Greenway. If you are walking past the Two Rivers Golf Course, kind of near the dog park there is an amazing native passion flower patch. And some of them have also produced fruit. So I believe it's the Incarnata variety that's our native wildflower here.
I'm sure.
Coolest flower on going.
Bees all over it, but it was just the way that it integrated with the rest of the native foliage, and the irony of it being right next to a golf course, like literally.
That is hyper. Golf courses
Manicured.
are
Manicured,
hyper
yeah.
manicured. You
Right.
Yeah, it
nothing-
like literally ends, and then there's the rough, and then there's the the hole, the in green with the really short putting grass, and I'm like, this is crazy, but it's kind of like a drain that kind of comes through that area, so they left it grown up and wild, but it's really beautiful.
Well,
the Nashville Zoo has a big wall
Yeah.
of,
Do they now?
of passion
Yeah.
vine as well, and it's swarming with Gulf fritillary butterflies right now, too. It's really cool.
awesome.
I love those butterflies.
Mar
don't you?
followed up with another question. He says, "So, what do we plan for year-round privacy?
Oh gosh.
Oh man,
It depends on how much sun you have. Depends on how much room
space
you have.
you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
How big we really want to go.
I would
Right.
say if you have a spot that's a pretty big area that you want to cover, Green John Arborvitae is the go-to.
Yep.
If it's a smaller spot, like it needs to be more of a shrub, you could do.
How
you could-
close is your neighbor more?
Correct.
There's
so
all
if it needs
kinds
to
of
be
things.
narrow, maybe Taylor juniper or emerald green arborvitae, even though everybody uses those, it's for a reason, because you can buy them fairly inexpensively for the size.
Skip laurel is a pretty
Yeah.
good option. Plenty
Yeah.
of hollies work for that. Hey, Bridge.
Grasses.
Sure, throw it in the grasses. Also,
Although you've got to cut them back in early spring, so you miss out on a few months there.
So it's a three-season fence.
Correct.
Three-season privacy.
fence. Yes.
Hey, Bridge.
Hey, what?
Give us a fun fact.
Uh-oh.
Give us a fun fact about Taylor juniper, because I know you know one. Tell us.
Taylor junipers are named after Taylor, Nebraska.
Yes.
There
no
you go.
way.
True story.
That's a true story. The tallest, skinniest evergreen juniper you can buy.
That
It's a
makes it
beautiful
sound
tree.
like it should be named after Taylor. Taylor Swift?
Yeah, it should be a
Tall and
Swiftie. They're all
skinniest,
Swifties.
yeah, yeah.
It
Tall,
is-
skinny, and popular.
It is a swift Taylor,
It's
that's for sure.
It's the swiftiest juniper out there.
Oh, it's so good. And Bridge actually told me this. She gave me the info on that
Wow.
originally, that it was from Taylor, Nebraska. And
That's
that
pretty
makes
cool.
me happy. I've got 2 in the yard.
So was it the University of Nebraska that developed it, or was it?
I don't know.
A
I'm not
nursery,
sure
a
on
nursery
that.
that developed it. Okay, that's interesting. That's cool.
It is.
Speaking of helping people out, well, I messed that one up. Do you recommend covering raised beds with something in winter like straw or cover crops?
Cover cropping, baby.
Yeah, do clover
Yes.
or
Not just any clover, right?
well,
Red
no.
one.
Crimson clover.
Crimson clover.
Oh, that good
Yep.
stuff.
Sow
Yeah.
it in October, and
Yeah.
then watch it come up in profusion, a nice fluffy green blanket, and then it will overwinter, and you'll be like, I can't believe that stuff's still up, and it's just chilling there.
Well, you
And the
know what it's
bees like
doing
it.
too. It's helping you. It's
That's
taking
right.
it's taking nitrogen out of the air and putting it back into.
It's
the
like a
soil, so-
nitrogen pump.
It is.
And then in spring, you get this huge red carpet of amazing blooms, and the bees swarm it.
Love it.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
one of-
hear them
Oh, it
Yeah,
buzzing.
it's one of their first sources, along with wild violets of nectar and whatnot in
Yeah.
the spring.
If you
early
don't
spring.
do nothing with your lawn, eventually you'll get wild violet.
Yeah, you
it'll
will.
come. It'll come up.
You can come to
and-
Smyrna. I'll give you some.
or Springfield, I'll give you some.
Exactly, and it's just wonderful. And then after that, you just whack it. After it
Till it
finishes
ends.
bloom.
Now-
I mean, you
now,
can let it reseed if you want. but-
Speaking of raised beds,
Yes.
now if you have been using your raised bed, if you used it this year, you will need to put nutrients back in there if you decide not to go with the cover crop, or if you do a cover crop, once you have taken it, once you've taken that off, you can put some supernatural compost on there,
absolutely.
which is.
And you know what? I'm just going to put this question, over the Earth Mix spot right here. How to rejuvenate my raised beds for next season. Nothing grew well this year.
Do it, Adam.
Supernatural compost. Every year, I've got 3 or 4 raised beds and lots of containers that I do my vegetable gardening with. And every year I just put supernatural compost on there in the spring right before you can actually do it twice a year because I use my garden for cool season and warm season vegetables. So just whenever you're about to replant, whether that be February or now, like I need to get some today.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm about to do some lettuce and stuff like that. So, and if you want to establish a new bed, I recommend the garden soil. That's what I use for every bed that I put up. I just put the garden soil in there, and it's ready to go.
I top dressed with Viragra last
You
Saturday.
can do that. That's the earthworm castings.
Oh man!
So great products to use for that and for every other landscape purpose, garden purpose,
indoor, outdoor.
Yep, we've got. If you live in an apartment or a small space and you have house plants, Proganics is perfect.
Got boxes. The O works absolutely.
Yeah, and
fantastic.
if you've got a deck outside or you've got some pots hanging on the rail there.
5-gallon buckets with tomato plants in it.
Organics.
Hey man,
outdoor.
Bridget, what's your favorite Earth Mix variety?
Oh, I don't know. I use indoor a lot, actually. Yeah, because I do a lot of containers. Don't plant much in the ground at my house because I rent. So I'm using a lot of indoor.
Yeah,
that's
great.
And a container garden, a balcony, patio garden. I mean, it drains like nothing else.
Well, what's great about the Proganics O in particular, I think I said this last week, is it will retain moisture and it helps you out because
it's got a little bit of expanded shale in it too, right?
It does, which helps with drainage and moisture retention. So the shale has little pores all over it. So those pores hold water, but it lets the excess water run out. So it's not just sitting there.
It's scientifically created.
I tell you what, I don't know if a lot of people understand this or know this, but all of these products are made right here. They're behind the scenes. Adam Chapman, right over there, literally gets on a machine and makes these blends, y'all. He's got a formula. He's got it in his head. At this point, he's a dirt master. And he mixes all this stuff up. And it's fresh, ready to go. He does it. He might spend a whole Saturday on a machine just mixing dirt all day.
That's my catch-up day.
It's his safe place.
Yeah, it is nice. It's nice.
Not only is it available here at Bates, it's available all over the Middle Tennessee.
If you go to
Upper
Earth Mix,
Alabama, Kentucky.
Correct. You go to earthmix.net. You go to find Earth Mix. It'll take you to a beautiful map.
Got a handy soil calculator too.
It's not available in Uganda yet, but we're working on it.
Is it in Nebraska yet?
No, no.
It should be in Nebraska.
Yeah, it should be. It should be everywhere.
Yep.
Really.
I mean, you can at least stretch across the great state of Tennessee and find some Earth Mix.
Yes.
Whether you're towards Knoxville,
north, south, east,
or
west.
Memphis.
Yep. So if you're in Tennessee, you can find some Earth Mix.
Absolutely.
Use it.
It's good stuff, folks. Honest goodness. Earth Mix, sunshine, water, and plants. That's all you need, man.
And we got the plants.
And speaking of,
What's in room with Caroline?
And Caroline is not with us today, but we're putting Bridget on the spot.
Yes. Hey, Caroline.
For what's
Hope
in
you're
room.
watching.
She's probably sleeping. She literally had a 20-hour drive.
Yeah.
So a lot of grasses in the room right now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Point them out.
Here we go. I'm backing the
what do we have
camera up.
here?
Look at that.
Totem pole switchgrass.
I can't even get
Beautiful.
it. I can't even get it in camera.
Can I ask a question about totem pole? Is that a sport of like Northwind or something? Because it looks a lot like Northwind to me.
I don't know if it's a sport
like
of Northwind.
like an improvement
I
or
wouldn't
something.
be
It's a bit more
surprised. I
blue
think it's got
to
more
me.
blue.
It
Yeah.
is more blue.
And it's quite a bit taller. I think this
Okay.
gets between maybe 7 and 8 feet tall.
Wow.
It's
okay.
the tallest that I know of.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beautiful, and that kind of grayish blue, really.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she mentioned it for privacy. Because
Yes.
For privacy.
It gets big. What else we got up
What
here, Rich?
else?
What else we got?
Celosia.
This stuff. Isn't that funky?
that's a different form of celosia than I'm used to.
I know.
What is that?
What's it called?
It's
called Intens.
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 We've got
That's
another
intense.
Intens that's got like a magenta leaf too out
Wow.
in annuals right now. They're gorgeous.
Lovely.
That's cool. Little fingers, little purple fingers.
That's going to be perennial too, isn't it?
From seed, maybe.
It reseeds.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
reseeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So will those pansies and
Violas.
violas in particular will reseed like crazy.
Yeah.
I really love how y'all have demonstrated the split there. You know, you're kind of like hot and
This
cool.
is my palette.
Yeah, exactly.
palette.
And that's exactly what you could do in your own bed.
Sure.
You could make stripes if you wanted.
Yeah. I
Are
love
those
it.
peppers over there as well?
Yes, we've got some really cute ornamental peppers.
ornamentals?
What's this one called? Hot
Dude,
Pops Yellow.
Yeah, do not.
Oh.
They are
Reggie,
edible, but
eat
they
one.
will burn your mouth like crazy.
Really? They're hot.
Some
I
of
think
them do.
so. Yeah.
I've tried them in many years. I've been doing this for so long. I've tried them over the years, and like sometimes they will light you up.
Yes.
And then sometimes they taste like nothing.
Yeah.
They taste like water, nothing.
Yep.
They're not
sample?
exactly
Water, nothing.
organic.
No, I don't
though,
want to eat
so-
one right now. It's too early.
Right,
Give
they're
me the
not
heartburn.
exactly organic either, so they're not really
Probably not.
recommended to eat.
Very
No,
much
that's true.
ornamental.
That's
Yeah.
true. When you're buying annuals, it's not. I mean, unless it says explicitly, they use all kinds of stuff on annuals to get
Keep
them
'em
out
pretty.
the door.
All right, and sending it across the room.
Go
Oh,
across,
yeah.
bridge, the
All right,
grasses.
what do we have down in front? It looks like a standing ovation little blue stem, probably the most popular little blue stem that we carry. Really a great performer.
It's got so many colors
It
in
does.
You know, you got purples, a little
Yep.
bit of red even.
Kind of pinkish.
And is
Yeah.
that one? I know it's considered a native, but that's native to West Tennessee, correct or no?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I think actually big blue stem and little blue stem both
Okay.
are native.
Because West Tennessee is more of a wetlands.
Yep.
That's what's so great about the state of Tennessee in particular is you've got the mountains, and you got kind of us here in Middle Tennessee is kind of in between, and then West Tennessee is the low-lying wetlands. So
looks like there is a big blue stem over there. It's
Yep.
Blackhawks, the real tall one.
Is
in
that
the
behind
corner.
Adam?
It is behind Adam. Yes.
How
Wow.
tall those stalks
Really
are.
pretty,
I mean,
kind of whimsical
that's-
seed heads.
You know, they're only a few inches off the ground on that block, so that's quite a bit of height on
oh
those.
yeah, they're easily 4.5 foot tall in the ground
Yeah.
or 5 foot tall in the
Yep.
ground.
They don't have the density that like the totem pole switchgrass has, so not a great screen like switchgrass is, but really pretty, really nice movement in the landscape too. So.
I mean,
Mixed into a big bed, it would be gorgeous.
I'm already saying, yeah, just plant that back in the middle,
Yep.
you know, and have your
Now,
little plume
I know
fountain.
I know what some people are thinking.
What's that?
That looks like I need to mow it down.
Yep.
How
With-
do we
with-
answer that objection?
Where
that-
is my bush hog?
There, it's so funny you say that because there is a number of people like when I show them, like I'm into grasses a lot, just like bridges. I really love the grasses, but like I'll take some customers to them, and I'll be like, "Here, try this," and they'll be
I don't
like,
want to weed.
"No, I need to weed eat that."
Yeah,
I'm like, "Hey, I get it. Yeah, everyone's got their own taste." So
I live with one, so I mean that's because I love the big ploofy grasses, is what we call them in Smyrna. It's ploofy. What are your favorite ones that are ploofy?
what's he
Bridget?
talking about, Bridge?
Ploofy?
You
Pampas.
I think
They
he's
got the
talking about.
ones with
He's talking about pampas grass.
We're
With
talking-
cordidaria.
Grass with an
We're
attitude.
talking
That
yeah.
big
plumage.
So
Yeah.
I really
Ploofy.
like fire dragon
Okay.
miscanthus. It's a maiden
okay.
grass.
I need to get some of that.
Turns like vibrant orangish red in the fall.
Oh,
It's stunning, and it's got those big tassels on top.
Ploofy.
Ploofy, yeah.
Ploofy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
What about that? Isn't there one called ginger something?
Ginger love.
Ginger
Ginger
love.
love.
Yeah, that's a fountain.
That's a
fountain.
pennisetum, right? Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. That one's cool too. The plumes on that one are colorful. Too. Yeah.
Stay a little smaller.
What about Maudry's are good for black plumes? So they're real dark.
Really?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
I don't think
short.
I've ever
It's
seen
shorter
that one.
too. It's shorter. It's not as tall, but it's cool.
My backdoor neighbor complains that he has one, and I think it's a true pampas grass that when he goes to clean it up in the spring, it
cuts 'em up.
Cuts him
Oh,
like
yeah.
cuts him up.
Pampas grass is like having razor blades in your yard,
Okay.
Yeah.
and I'm not kidding. I mean,
Oh, it'll cut you.
they will cut you like a razor blade.
Okay.
Now, usually it's only if you go down. If you go up the blade, it doesn't cut as much. But if you're for whatever
so it's
reason,
the sharp side of the knife that you're worried
correct,
about. Okay.
correct.
You can feel the serration. Yeah.
Oh, it's
It doubles as a barbed wire fence.
Sam says
Yeah.
on
It's a
YouTube
privacy
that
fence.
his variegated variegated Japanese silvergrass has been exquisite this year.
Yeah.
Sounds like
That's
a
a
good
cool one. The blade's really wide, and
Okay.
yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, big old grass.
Sam has lots of Japanese
stuff.
maples as well,
Yes.
so it's very kind of tooled to that.
Is that Sam? You say
Yeah, Sam
Boyette?
Boyette.
What up, Sam? How you doing, dude? Hey, you know what? I still got a note on my desk for you to have the 7-gallon Chinese snowball viburnum. We have some right now. Just shout out, just so you know. I know you told me you didn't need one, but I think you do.
Yep.
They look good. Come on out today. Come see me. I ain't seen you in a minute. Show me them maples. He's a good maple grower. He's a good dude. I like him.
All right, throwing out another question here.
Okay.
I was told to get a male ginkgo tree. There are 200 species of ginkgo. Hell,
Okay,
that
here we
might be an exaggeration.
So we get this question all the time, and the answer is, if you buy a straight species ginkgo, if it's just ginkgo biloba, you will not know if it's male or female until it's too late. If it's female, okay, you can't know. It's almost impossible unless you. I'm sure there's some PhD specialist ginkgo guy that can tell you. But so when you buy a variety, like, what are some of the varieties?
Autumn
Princeton
Gold,
Century,
Princeton Century.
Autumn Gold, Golden Globe. Those should be every time male, because they are scions or cuttings that have been rooted from the same tree. We know for a fact they're male. So if you were buying a straight or a straight species, you won't know.
No.
So
But if you're buying a variety, it's always male. So that you know.
Yes, it's pretty much only males in the trade here. And
Yes.
what Adam's talking about too is that with ginkgos, they literally take close to upwards of 20 years
To start
for them
fruiting.
to start fruiting
Yep.
if it is a female. So you might live for 20 years with that tree and not even realize it
But
until
boy,
1
when
year.
they
Oh
do.
man, then they're throwing them fruit. What do they smell like?
I think I've said this on the show before, but at UT Martin, where I went to school, they were all over the campus, because the campus was built, I guess, in the 30s and 40s and redone in the 50s and 60s, and they planted these ginkgos, just straight species. And outside of the chemistry building, they would fruit. And it smelled like dog poo.
That's
That's what the fruit smells like.
It's
it smells
awful.
like poo.
It's awful. At MTSU where I went, in the president's house in his yard, he had a massive ginkgo, and I'm pretty sure MTSU started in like 1905 or something like that. It's pretty old, it's somewhat old.
it held the toilet paper real well.
Yeah, but that tree though, y'all, is epic. If you're ever out there,
Yep.
What is that? Northwest Broad or something? You went to MTSU, didn't you?
For
Josh?
a minute, yeah.
Yeah, man, big, massive tree, like over 100 years old. Awesome ginkgo.
Yep.
They live forever. They'll outlive
Oh yeah,
you.
well that's what I'm saying. All over UT Martin, there were these beautiful ginkgos, and in the fall they were gorgeous.
So good. There's no better yellow in nature.
No, there isn't.
Tell me if I'm wrong. No better yellow
No,
in nature.
But what's
It's the
interesting?
coolest leaf going too.
It's
yeah,
the
but you
only
can-
leaf shape like that.
It is, yeah. And they fall on the
All at the
same
same
day,
time.
the same day,
Pretty much. Yep.
Every one of them's gone.
It's got its own chapter in the textbook.
Does it really?
It should.
The sole species in the whole genus.
Because it's the only was it angiosperm or something like that? That's
It is. No, it's a gymnosperm. It's technically a conifer.
A gymnosperm.
It's
That's
the
true.
old. It's so old, y'all. It lived with dinosaurs. Made it
Yeah.
through ice
Cool.
ages.
Yep.
It's got its own leaf shape. Ginkgo biloba. Biloba, the sole species in the whole genus. That's so cool. And we sell them.
We got them right
And they
now.
grow
Didn't we
What
just
was
get
the two little ones that I bought this year, Austin? Do you remember? I can't remember the name.
Yeah,
variety.
you bought what's the name of that one? Adam Monrovia grows it. It's that little dwarf, right?
Jade butterfly?
yeah, jade butterflies.
that's
That's
a cool
what you
one.
got. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got two of them. And
I want you to let me know how big that thing actually gets. It says it's a dwarf, and I want to see. You know, ginkgos grow painfully slow.
Well, the way that I'm looking at it, like, because there is that American one that's a miniature.
Oh, I've got
basically.
that one. I got that one
Yeah.
on a standard.
Right.
Oh, no, Josh, that is the one you bought, isn't it?
American.
The single
honestly
stem
can't-
to the canopy?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
American.
American.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
American.
American. Oh, I got that one. It's lovely right now.
But they seem to have gone up about 6 inches since I put them in the spring. So I mean, that's
pretty decent.
pretty decent.
That's pretty
growth,
decent for a
but-
Well,
ginkgo,
I mean,
yeah.
this year has been great for growth, plant
yeah.
growth, for sure. All
For trees in general. And we have had a fungusy tree year. I swear, every other email and phone call is like, "What's this leaf spot on my tree?"
Because it rained so much this year.
Kind of annoying.
Speaking of,
Here we go.
Got
boom.
visual interest here.
I planted this red oak in June or July. Can you tell me what's wrong? Fungus, maybe? How can I save it?
Luckily for you, you don't have to do anything to save it. This is the good thing. You know, all oak trees, look around the woods, y'all. Go for a walk. Look at these trees. Tell me if you see any tree out there that doesn't have some fungal spotting on it. You're not going to.
No, you won't.
There's also, that's what is here. This is Middle Tennessee. This is what we do. Fungus lives with trees, and there's this symbiotic relationship, whether it be good or bad. Now, for you, you know, your tree is young, and you know, you want to keep an eye on it or whatever, but really, there's nothing you can do about it now.
The only thing you could do is some cultural practices like this fall, or when the leaves fall off, you know, rake those up, get them out of there. If it's small enough, you can spray it with dormant oil.
Yes. Coat those stems
the
with the
trunk
dormant
and
oil.
the stems, so
Yes.
that will help to keep the disease down.
Now, you probably
next
don't
year.
want to compost those leaves,
No.
right?
Negative.
Well,
Are truly
no,
trying to-
you can, but you have to make sure that you get the temperature at a certain point that kills
The
the
fungus.
pathogen. Which if you can't take the temperature of your compost, I wouldn't recommend it. No.
Yeah. They usually have these really long thermometers that you can stick in those piles.
A probe,
if you will. Exactly. You can probe the pile to see what the temp is doing, but it is actually kind of hard to maintain unless you're regularly
Make sure you
turning
ask the
and adding-
compost if you can first.
Yes.
You know,
Make sure
that's
you get permission.
so
MRP Mims
Nice
wants
of
to
you.
know if she can transplant
Miriam.
Miss Huff
Miriam. Hey, Miriam.
Lantana now, and will it survive the winter?
I'm sorry, I missed the front part of that.
Lantana?
What was it?
Miss Huff Lantana, and will it survive? the
What do
once
you
it
think,
transplant?
Bridget? What do you think, Bridget? I don't think the roots have enough time to get
Ooh.
established.
I
Give
don't
him the
think so
business
either.
bridge. Although, tell him about Miss Huff if you do it right.
Now, did he
Foliage.
just say doo doo?
I think you did.
I heard doo-doo.
Look, I was.
Oh,
Got
there it
him.
is. I was just like tell him about Miss Huff, the variety.
So Miss Huff is a supposedly hardy lantana. I want to say it's hardy to zone 7, so tender perennial. So yeah, I think I would treat it delicately.
Well, you know, with those tender perennials, you really want to plant them in the spring and tender shrubs like Loropetalum, probably better to plant it in the spring too, because it's going to have time for the roots to establish over the year till the cold weather gets here.
I'm a big fan of that with crepe myrtle too. I'm not big on planting crepe myrtle in the fall. I don't know why. I just like it in the spring. Let the full season of root development, and then that'll be helpful.
Yeah, I think that's probably good as well. Although, you know, it's a crepe myrtle.
I don't know.
I mean,
It'll probably be fine.
they're really hard.
Is there a
to-
bit of a bias being?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, they're very tough. I'm not.
Yes.
That's my point. Is
Okay.
that you know the thing is they get hammered almost every other year here with cold weather, and they keep
can.
coming back.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, that's the good thing about crepe myrtles. They can suffer dieback, but they never suffer death. Hardly ever.
No,
They're
no.
always coming
No.
back from the roots. You ain't just seeing one dying.
no. Oh, you'll see it dead to the ground maybe, but it's going to come back.
Which happened to my red rockers this year, and you can't tell that there was ever any damage at all. Now.
Exactly.
Yep. The biggest problem that I have with people is that they don't get rid of that dieback. Oh, it's so annoying to see this plant come back from the ground, but then
Yeah.
you've got these dead sticks among it.
Yeah.
It's like, people,
No,
get
no,
out there,
no.
cut that out. Oh, it's killing me. Get your saws all out, chainsaw, something. Get out
I
there
know
and cut them old
every
limbs.
time you drive by, you have to stop yourself from getting out, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Go knock on that door and say,
Yeah.
get out there. I'm going to do it for you.
When I drive around Nashville, sometimes I literally want to, like, at night do like a guerrilla operation, and I want to go and be like, "I'm gonna cut your laurels
So
back."
you're like Batman, but only with plants and landscape.
Yeah.
Right.
And this
I'm
year
the
it was,
night pruner.
and I wanted to do this last night. I was at
Bushman.
I was at the Pleasant View softball field watching my daughter play softball. By the way, great job last night, Ivy Joe. Hope you're watching. I doubt it. You're probably asleep. But she did great last night. But they've got these laurels planted around the park. And obviously what happened to laurels last year, yes, they got whacked. All their old leaves are done, dead. But almost all of them, it came back from the root system. And this, I'm talking about skip laurel. But what is with them? Dead
the dead
sticks
stuff.
right around the new growth. I'm like, y'all, come on,
People.
park people. I should have got that. I should have just. I'm gonna bring my pruners next time. All right, Pleasant View Park. I'm pruning up your park. Get ready.
He's coming for you.
Coming.
Now, if you want to hear and talk to Austin personally about
or Bridget.
this subject, I'm saying this subject. If you want to talk about grasses,
Good
come
luck
on
talking
out.
to me.
Come on out to Bates Nursery. We have all kinds of grasses. Bridget has been working on the grass section nonstop for
It's true.
since
I moved here.
Well, yes, and so it looks great. It's very well organized. You can find the grasses, and if you can't, just find one of us. We'll be happy to help you. We're at 3810 Whites Creek Pike, Nashville, Tennessee.
Yep, it's 0.9 miles north of
0.9 miles north of Raleigh Parkway. There is no
19.
excuse if you live in Nashville to not come here.
We're so much closer than what people think. People think
Exactly.
it's so far away. It's out there in the country. Like, we're kind of country. Some of us
Takes
are
me
some
about
country folk, but
less than 35 minutes to get here from Smyrna.
from anywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. People in East Nashville, it's like 7 minutes, 10 minutes to get here. Tyler, how
Hop,
long does it
skip, and
take
a
you to
jump.
get to work?
13 minutes.
13 minutes.
That's from Madison, East Nashville area.
30 minutes from Springfield. 29
But the
minutes.
selection is fantastic.
Well, that's why you
fruit trees with fruit on them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Massive boxwoods out there.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes.
Picture perfect boxwood right
Yes,
now.
they
It
are.
really
They
is.
were pretty coming.
You know, one of my first trees was from Bates,
Uh-huh.
and it was actually on sale.
What
it
was
was
it,
like
Tyler?
it was near the dead of winter. It was a fruit cocktail tree, and I found it. It was about 50% off, which I don't even know when, what, why, or how that happened, but it's still
so it
growing
was
to
light
this
syrup
day.
in that fruit cocktail.
That was during one of David's, he had this fever where he said, 50% off.
A lapse
something.
of
I don't know.
sanity, maybe. But anyway, it was.
David?
It was. Yeah, I give him too little credit, but
Okay.
it's still going to this day. I'm still harvesting plums off of it.
Wow.
And didn't you make some plum something with them this
Plum
year?
preserves.
Yeah.
Red plum preserves.
Yeah.
I mean, I trust the plant material that we bring in and that we sell here because we truly bring in quality at Bates.
Yes. we
I haven't
do.
seen pansies anywhere
And
else.
quantity.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like we've done this for so long. Adam specifically, you've been here, 24 years, Adam?
Actually, my hire date was September 14th, 2000.
Oh, wow.
So we're coming up on my 23rd anniversary.
That's
of being
awesome.
here. So,
And and I've been here for 7, and I feel like we every day are here. We kind of take what we have for granted a little bit. Like, it's just normal to us. This is where we work. It's what we do. But to people that have never been here before, it's like, whoa, mind blown. I mean, you can find pansies, house plants, shrubs, trees.
I will put an asterisk here.
Okay.
We are under construction. So we have our front parking lot that's up on the hill.
Completely upended.
It's been demolished. We're making some improvements.
It's going to be so nice.
It's going to be really nice.
Holy
Yes, the parking is going to be much better in that area. So it is worth it. Just bear with us.
Yeah.
We're doing our best parking wise. So we will find a place for you to park.
And that's a shout out to
promise.
Mr. Bates. That man,
Yes.
when he decides to do something, he goes big, y'all. I mean, he just said, we're doing it.
Yep.
And we're
Yep.
just demoing large machinery everywhere. I mean, it looks like a war zone out
Big
here.
concrete
but I tell you
lots.
what, it's going to be great. David Bates goes for it.
Hey,
We love him
and you
for
can
that.
come out tomorrow because you're going to be open on Sundays through the fall. So
That's right.
Don't remind
Very
us,
true, very
Josh.
true.
It's okay.
I know y'all love it that we're here on Sundays. Do we love it, Adam?
Sure you do.
Oh, yeah.
It is a love-hate relationship.
Yeah. Bridge, how do you feel about working on Sundays?
I'm glad that I get to sleep in a little bit. We don't open till noon.
That's
That's true. 12 to 4.
And that means you can too, or do whatever you need to do.
Go to
Before you
church.
come out
Come
to
on
Bates.
out.
Run your
Everybody be
errands.
dressed up. Come
Yeah.
on out after.
come buy a tree after that. Oh, y'all, we got trees in this week.
Yes.
The first full semi,
And they're mostly large ones, right?
all pretty much all.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 gallon and 25 and 30 gallons, all the big stuff. Good looking stuff too. Came from McMinnville, locally grown. All the trees look really, really nice, and we got them all unloaded, all spaced out, all priced out. So it's tree planting season.
Well, let's squeeze in one little
What's in bloom?
with Austin while we're in our season.
Same stuff, isn't
Same
it?
stuff, pretty much. I got a
stuff.
few new ones. First off, shout out to my girl Bridge over here. The grasses.
Yes.
They're in bloom.
Ploofy.
Yay.
Aren't they, Bridge?
They are.
They're looking so
Putting
good.
on a show.
Putting on a show. What else we got? Let's go with trees. Hey, magnolia's still throwing a couple random blooms. What is up with that? Who knows? Forever blooming. Also, shout out to Caroline who told me about this. Her deciduous magnolia at her house is reblooming.
Yeah. Wow.
They do that sometimes. Isn't that funny? Crepe myrtle's still going, of course. It's crepe myrtle. They bloom forever. Mimosa still throwing some blooms. Rose of Sharon and hibiscus still going strong. It's been a good year for them. Great rainfall this summer. Really, really good for those blooms. All right, a lot of perennials right now. A lot in Bridget's world over here. Okay, Coreopsis still going. If you gave Coreopsis a good cutback after it was kind of done blooming, then you're seeing reblooms now, which is great. Salvia is the same way. Goldenrod is one of our natives blooming along the woodline. Bridget told me about this one this morning. Helianthus, which is kind of our native sunflowers. All those yellow blooms you see going down the interstate right now that are just loaded. Blooms about, that big. A lot of, pretty high petal count. Those are certainly looking good right now. Just a smaller sunflower, if you will, but perennial. They're great. Ironweed is a big old 7-foot purple bloomer. Those are pretty, kind of. I sold some to a lady yesterday, a nice native lady that I talked to. She comes out. She only wants to talk to me, which is cool. I like chatting with her. She bought 3 ironweed yesterday, so good for you. Rudbeckia is still going, even though, yuck, I hate Rudbeckia. Black-eyed Susan's what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've been deadheading them.
What did it do to you?
It made me itch when I was a child, Adam. My mother had it planted. It was actually my mother's original plan from Bates Nursery. This was back in like the 90s. Shout out to Shannon.
Oh, way back last century.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was the 90s.
It was the 90s. Shout out, Shannon. And I had to weed that out for my mother because it got too thick like it does. It spreads. It's horrible. And it made me itch. So I don't like it.
Probably didn't put no coverings on you, did
No,
you?
I didn't. I was out there shirtless. Anyway, what's next? Sedum. Hey, Autumn Joy sedum. That's a cute little plant. They're blooming. Bees get drunk off that.
Yep.
That's always good. Canna lilies still going. Not my favorite, but they're going. Dahlias, they're looking good. We got some pretty dahlias in right now. Hey, this is a weird one. Cleome. What y'all know about Cleome? That is a weed. And it kind of looks like that other plant.
Oh, it does.
It does. It kind of smells like it a little. It's called Cleome. What do they call that? What's that common name?
Weed.
Spider? Something spider flower.
Spider flower.
Something like that. People call it spider something. But it's got weird little blooms that are kind of odd looking. And
yeah, it looks like the wacky tobacco.
Yeah, it does. It does. Kind of smells like it too. Man, that stuff will take over. That will take over.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, asters, almost. I had to ask Bridge about this morning. I was like, Bridge, have you seen any asters around town blooming?
Miriam
She's
said
like,
asters are blooming.
Miriam
They're
did?
getting
Yeah,
started.
she with an exclamation point.
Hey, Miriam knows all. Love you, Miriam. Thank you. Asters blooming. And then the last one I've got is just celosia. It's an annual that's still going. There you go. That's what's in bloom.
Thank you, Austin.
We ran through it.
Yeah.
What's next? We got any more questions?
Yes, we do.
Let's
actually.
do it. Actually, yes.
On a slight hill, this is my lawn. It was newly planted with grass about 2.5 years ago. Hate it. And I've got a visual aid here. I think she said it's Lespedisia. Is that what it is?
I can't tell for sure. It's either that or
That's that. Oh, yeah, that's
Isn't
that
that-
thick little. Maybe that is Lespedisia.
it'd be.
Yeah, it might be.
Well, you don't have much grass.
No.
Obviously. And you're going to have to get rid of that stuff if you want to have grass, because fescue in particular is not going to outgrow that.
No.
So you.
She followed up. How can I get a grass lawn growing? Terrible clay soil.
We got to get that stuff.
I'm going to say a word that is it's going to be very divisive.
Here we
The
go.
R word.
Uh oh.
No, it's the B word.
Oh.
Bermuda.
Bermuda. If you want grass that is thick and is going to grow here, and you're not going to have Bermuda grass. I'm sorry, I know it gets in people's beds, but everybody wants fescue, but that's a cool season grass, and we are a transition zone, and it struggles all the time.
It can.
Bermuda grass does not. Another one, it's a Z word.
Oh.
Zoysia, a little
Yes.
more expensive,
Very
but
expensive.
once again, warm season. I've got a stand of zoysia in my front yard that I could fall asleep on it.
Yes.
Yes.
It's so thick.
Oh man, it's
so
awesome.
good. Now,
So-
to get rid of what you got, if you don't want to use Roundup, which you could obviously do that if you want to go the chemical control route, you could go black plastic and smother it. Hopefully we have enough heat in this season to kind of kill that. You literally just put black plastic over top of that, seal it, pin it down really nice and tight, and hopefully that'll kill that and get it kind of out of there. You clean it all up, and then, like Adam said, replant with Bermuda or zoysia. That'd probably be your best bet.
That looks a little rhizomous to me. It's really spready stuff.
You're not going to probably get just totally rid of that.
No, you probably will have to. At this point, it's so thick. You probably will have to use. I would say 2,4-D or. Yeah. Some kind, because it's a broadleaf, obviously. So you could use that.
I mean, non-chemical wise, could they just cut the sod, and get underneath all that?
You're taking some of the dirt with it when you go.
Yeah, you're definitely going to take more of the dirt with it than you want to, because you're going to have to go fairly deep to get it off.
Even some of the vinegars that people use.
I mean,
you're going
to. They don't work. No. Hey, although I got to shout out real quick to my girl Ann in the office. I forgot one that's in bloom. One of her favorites, Bush Lespedeza. That's a different one. So what you got is that ground cover kind of cover crop, if you will. Bush Lespedeza is a plant we sell out here. Blooms this time of year, and it is blooming right now. So shout out Ann Wesley, my girl up in the office answering them phones. So that.
Yeah.
Just went there.
All right. Well, speaking of going there, we're going to switch gears to more of a tropical houseplant variety for this last round. I've recently been gifted 2 fiddle leaf figs. They're about 2.5 to 3 feet tall. This is really long, sorry. And 8-inch pots. Should I repot them now or wait until spring? What type of soil should I use? Would also welcome any tips on light and watering to keep them thriving.
Well, I can answer the soil question for Organic Sci. That's the one.
Our indoor potting mix. And I love fiddle leaf figs. They get such a bad rap of being like a really hard plant to grow or something. They're really not, but you got to make sure you get them started where they need to be, okay? They need tons of sunlight inside your home, as much as you can throw at it. Yep. They also need to stay on the dry side, okay? We're not going to keep these things wet all the time. You get to see fungal spots and browning, and it's not good. So you don't want that. So in between waterings, we need to let these plants get dry, okay? They'll tell you when they're dry. The topmost foliage, the newest growth of the plant will wilt.
Yeah.
Whenever you see that slight wilt, water it nice and deeply, let it drain fully, and then keep it back in that sunlight, and it's going to be totally happy. Now, when it comes to repotting, you can let a fig get pretty tight in its pot, but you need to check it. I mean, you need to grab the stem, pull it, kick it out of its pot, and look at the roots. And if they're not like spiraling just, in just this massive root glob, if you will, if they don't look like that, put them back in their pot and let them be. Now, if they do look like that, then it's about time to repot, and we don't want to go too much bigger. Caroline would usually recommend a couple inches, maybe an inch or two bigger than the pot that it's already in. Ruffle up those roots. You can even sever some roots at the bottom if they're too chunky, and then repot them. I did a video on repotting a fiddle leaf fig. You ought to check it out.
Aren't they easy to kill?
They are,
for a lot of people,
people overwater them.
That's always what it is.
Well, it's always that with houseplants in general.
Yes, it is. It's too much attention. Yeah. They don't need as much as you think.
Joan is going to apologize in advance for bringing up a sore subject, but she said my boxwoods were killed off from last winter's cold.
Oh, here it is.
Should these be replaced in the fall or wait until spring?
Fall's a great time.
Yeah, great time. Yeah.
Got some big ones in burlap.
Oh, yeah, we got them. We got
awesome.
nice ones.
We have a lot of boxwood right now. Boxwoods have been so annoying.
Yeah, well, what you can do is you can come out and you can talk to Austin, and both of you can buy new boxwoods together.
That's right. We'll
first sob together. Yes. We'll weep together. I'll even hold your hand because I want to cry still. I still haven't dug my boxwoods.
Just let them flow, man. Just let them flow. Let it all out.
All right.
You could take some of your corn stalks and put them around there and have like a skeleton.
There you go.
Thanks. Hey, y'all know what, though?
Right.
My petunias are money.
Yeah, they are.
Money still. And they're covering up those dead boxwoods. So, there you have it.
They also said, sorry to bring up a sore subject, Austin.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that. Come out and see me.
Well, this subject isn't sore. I've had a lemon tree for 2 years. Flowers bloom, and when they fall off, no fruit. What's wrong?
No bees.
Yeah, I mean,
could be part of the issue is pollination.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, you don't get just a ton of fruit typically here. My mom's had a lemon tree for years, and it's sporadic here and there. You'll get a fruit here, you get a fruit there. It's not just like a heavy fruit set. If you wanted to help with that, get you a little paintbrush, okay? Have fun with a little paintbrush. Be dusting pollen all over different flowers, from one flower to the other, to the other, to the other.
From flower to flower.
Go out and do that. You'll probably get a lot better fruit set, okay?
It might have got a little cold at one point in time.
Yep.
Yes.
A draft, you left the front door open for 2 seconds.
Yeah. To say they are finicky is a massive understatement.
And I would love to have a big Meyer in the house.
Oh, I would love to too, but I know I know what I'm getting into. So no, thank you. I'll just go to the store and buy some.
And you just can't expect a citrus tree to look great all the time, y'all. Here in Middle Tennessee, they just don't. Okay,
They're not really pretty in Florida.
Not really.
Yeah. I mean, they're okay.
Yeah.
But like in the wintertime over in our house, like they do not look good. They defoliate a lot of times. Like literally lose every leaf. Okay? But don't give up on them. Don't think they're dead just because they don't have leaves. When the weather warms up and the spring comes around and we're in no issues of frost or anything, put them outside. They re-leaf like crazy. Like I said, my mother does this every year, and she has one single lemon on her tree, and we're babying it. My kids want to pick it all the time. It's just sitting up. It's like it's getting kind of big, but it's one.
Yep.
Well, and nutrients are going to leach out of the soil pretty quickly if it's in a pot. So you could also try hitting it with, a citrus fertilizer or something with high potassium.
Don't we have citrus tone?
We do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You kind of have to keep them going. Like Bridge said, they're going to lose that as the years go on.
All the tones.
Yes, that's all the tones.
Fertilize them.
Yep.
Yes, my citrus it's been a battle this year, but I've had great fruit set on my key limes.
Oh, wow.
I did have fruit
Wow.
set this year on my Persian lime, which this was the first season with it. But the fruit did, I think it did get nipped by the cold or something. I just built a greenhouse, and I'm still kind of learning the nuances of that and dealing with the cold season. And I think that it got it or something, but it just dropped all its fruit.
Maybe they're metal lovers. Maybe you need to put a speaker out there and blast some Metallica
Slayer.
or something.
point.
I've thought about the music route, so we'll probably try that this winter. Keep them happy.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Best way to get aerial roots growing on Schefflera arboricola, which is dwarf umbrella tree.
Oh, the best way to get aerial roots.
Aerial roots, yes.
I wonder if you'd have to make a wound. You know what we need? We need a little
On the stem?
We need a phone a friend segment.
Yes.
Where we can get
call
Caroline.
Wake her up.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to get Caroline right now.
No. I'm assuming a wound that I don't know if there's any way to really make that response happen.
I mean, usually when they're
Mature
when
and
they're just
root bound.
established and happy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They'll throw some of those roots.
Yeah, they should come out of the pod, out of the, yeah.
Looking for humid air. So
Exactly.
maybe like
Uh-huh.
wet moss or something. I don't know. I didn't
Yeah, I
even
mean-
know you could grow aerial roots.
Like
on
putting a
Schefflera.
humidifier next to the plant, maybe.
That or doing like maybe some air layering on it. Have fun with that.
That could be
Making
cool.
a wound around the stem and then putting some coconut core or something around and then sealing that up with moisture in it. You'll probably definitely see some roots doing it if you do it that way.
Yeah, Miriam thinks the air layer is going to work too.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And Miriam knows.
she's
That girl
wise.
knows. She's always here. Miriam, come out and see us today. I ain't seen you in a minute. Crickets.
I mean, I want to see Miriam.
Yeah,
We all want to see her.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. What
Well,
else?
that actually kind of wraps it up. We got a question about white fuzzy caterpillars, but who knows what they look like because we didn't get any photos. So when you, if you do have a visual aid, we try and get it up on the screen. And you can always ask questions live wherever you're watching.
Absolutely.
Or send us an email at homeshowjcdb@gmail.com. We get them any way we can take them.
And that's the best way to send a picture also. That
You
way-
know my theory on fuzzy caterpillars in general.
What's that?
Don't touch them.
Oh.
If they're fuzzy, there's something gonna hurt you. Is the way I feel. I don't know why.
You'll
If
get
they have,
burned.
especially if they have antlers.
Oh, them antlers. Ugh.
Or
Let
horns.
the birds take care of them.
Yes, let the birds eat those. I don't want those. Some of them fuzzy caterpillars can sting you and hurt you, like that saddleback caterpillar. Tyler,
yeah.
you remember that?
Yes, Caroline sent a photo of it. It looked like it was. I mean, basically, it's like a jellyfish on land.
It's the weirdest looking
If you
thing.
treat it like that, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, but it'll like sting you somehow or bite you somehow. I don't know.
neurotoxins in them, some of them.
Ooh,
But,
fuzzy caterpillars.
I saw a toad video this morning before the show that I'll have to try to find and share with the crowd. So.
Okay. Oh,
Ooh, fun.
I forgot. Y'all, I didn't know this. Look, I know a ton about trees, but I had no clue. I've got photo evidence that groundhogs can climb trees. Did anybody know this? My wife sent me a picture of a groundhog 15 foot up a tree because my dog chased it up the tree. And there's a groundhog in the tree.
I would say that
It's a good thing that the groundhog went up the tree
Yeah, I was gonna
instead of
say.
into the dog.
yeah, exactly.
True that.
I would
but
say that groundhog never thought he would climb a tree. but-
probably not.
but
It got down somehow because
Yeah.
it wasn't there when we came back later. I got a picture, y'all. I'm going to show y'all.
Well, they're kind of padded. He probably just jumped.
He was up
could
there,
have.
though. He
Oh,
was
wow.
way up there. Groundhogs in trees.
Wow.
Cool.
Incredible.
So he's an air hog now?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Air hog.
Oh, my goodness gracious. We understand that regardless of what's going to happen next week, you won't be here.
I will not.
You will not
No.
be here.
So
Bridget,
thank you for having me.
for sitting in.
Thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
you, Bridget.
This has been fun.
His bad self will be sitting in that chair next
will.
week. Yeah.
David returns
Yes, he
next
will.
Saturday.
He probably won't have any radiation burns, but
We don't know.
we don't know. It's okay.
I told him to bring me a chunk of Antarctic ice. We'll see if he can keep it for me.
He put it in his pocket,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
All righty, folks. Next Saturday morning at 8 o'clock Central Standard Daylight. You know, it's middle of the country, so we'll be here for you. Hey, come out to Bates today, and come out tomorrow,
Yes.
12 to 4. Get everything going. See what you see the progress on the new parking lot. It's really kind of cool to see what they're doing out
Yeah.
there. So you come and see it. And for everybody in the green room, we thank you for participating. Hey, share, like, subscribe.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends,
All
shake
of
the
it.
neighbors.
we want to help.
We will see you next Saturday right here from Bates Nursery and Garden Center.
Miriam, come see us today.
We love you.